What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Whew. Sorry, I was trying to get on early today, and everything's just been delayed. Just delayed. Why is it saying that? Oh, that's stupid. Hi! Happy Monday. How are you guys doing today? Oh, shit, there's a bunch of tickets in here, huh? Shoot. Anything I need to hit really quick? Sorry, I haven't gotten really a chance to
insane.
I haven't really got a chance to verify people in my Discord. Sorry about that. Hi everyone, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you guys are having a good one, having a good Monday. I'll tell you what today, it was a rough start to this morning. I'll tell you that much. I stayed up watching that stupid game. I stayed up watching that stupid game, and then had to wake up super early, and then fell back asleep, and then almost was late to work, and it was just a crazy start to the day. It was a crazy start to the day. I had to rush out the door. Then, I had to go and drop off something for my daughter, and so she had it for practice, and then they were late, and then I was rushing home and trying to get here and get some food in my belly so I could come hang out with y'all. So it's been one hell of a day. But I'm happy y'all are here. Welcome in. That was a good thing for me, Corey. I can't share your sentiment because that was a really good thing for me. So that was a really good thing for me. Well, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day as you guys are coming in. Please come on in, say hi in the chat. That's always helpful to getting this thing moving and getting on the algorithm. Just come in and say hi. Say hi to me. Say hi to someone else. Whatever, any of those things. Just say hi. Say something. OG Mags with the first ever chat. Hello. How are you? What's going on? And Cannibal Kitty, I see you over there.
It's insane.
How's everybody doing today? Welcome on in. Come on in. Let's see what I can do with this. Hold on. Woo-hoo. See if I pull up. Oh, that stinks. Spencer, I was trying to click on your link. It won't let me, and it won't let me copy and paste it either. I'm about to put it up on the screen, though. Maybe someone else can find it for me. Yo, welcome on in. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. We're just getting this thing started and getting this thing moving. I really appreciate you guys. Oh. Adravena. I'm assuming that's the same thing. I'm assuming that's the same. Okay, I got it. I got it. We'll put it up on the screen first. I think I've seen this. I think I've actually seen this. Funny enough, I can try to play it later if I haven't. We'll have to see. But yeah, as we get this thing started, Marianne, thank you so much for the $5 super chat to start the day. First super chat of the day. Can we get some big W's in the chat for the first super chat of the day? Saying thank you for all you do. It's truly important. Thank you so much, Marianne. I really appreciate that. Let's get some big W's in the chat for the first super chat of the day. That really does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. That's very, very sweet to start the day. And Spencer says, I've been waiting all day to ask you. Next maggot that brings up gun control, you should show them this and ask them about it. And I assume, and Spencer, just to be clear, like what the link I just got in that ticket, is that you with the Steve Hofstetter thing? If that's you, say something in the chat and I'll see it. But Spencer, thank you so much for the $10 super chat to start the day. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay. So awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I don't see Spencer. I'll just type it in here, I guess. Well, come on in. We're going to get this thing started in just a moment. Just a moment. Thank you so much, Spencer. I really, really appreciate that super chat. That's very... Okay, just making sure. Just making sure that was you. I believe I've seen that. I can try and pull it up later. But thank you, Spencer. I really, really appreciate it. All right. We're going to get this thing moving, get this thing started, get this thing going.
It's insane.
Anybody have any fun stories? Anybody have any fun jokes to start the day? No, nothing? I don't know what I'm talking about. I said, this was too much of a rush. Normally I get into like a nice, like calm, like zen spot before I get online. And I have not had time today. This was just like a bum rush. Just like a full bum rush to start the day. All right. So I am getting there. I am getting there. I am getting there. All right, now that we're at that spot, y'all, we're about to get this thing started and get these calls starting going, start to get these guest chats open. So I see a few people have already called, just one more minute or so, and I will open up those phone lines and we'll get this thing going. Okay? Guys, if you're trying to call in, it's just me here. And see how I'm talking to you, which means I'm not answering the phone. Okay, so it's just gonna keep moving on. All right. So when I open up the phone lines, then you can open it up. I don't know what you guys think I have here. Okay, like I don't. This isn't some like studio. I don't have like a producer back there that's like sitting there answering the phone. Like I don't have any of that stuff. It's just me here, dude. Okay. And I'm doing my fucking best. Okay. But I have not quite figured out the way. All right, to be in two places at once. I'm working on it though. Okay, I'm working on it. Me and RFK are working on a way to be two places at once. Okay, but we haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm sure we'll get there very soon. All right, as soon as I figure it out, I will be in another room answering the phone while I'm also here. Okay, but until then, I can't do it. Okay, I am trying though. All right. I'll work on it for tomorrow. Okay, I promise. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Spencer says, I have the best joke of the day. It's the president of the United States. We're already starting out with it. All right, at least we got some comedy and some fun starting out today. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications if you haven't already. As you guys are coming in, please chat in the chat box. Say hi to me, say hi to somebody else. Get the tats moving and all that fun stuff. If you guys would like to support any further than that, I do have super chats, I have members, I have subscribers, I have a live gift goal. I have all of my pay links in my bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I have all of the normal stuff to support if that is something that you'd like to do. But your biggest support is literally just being here, being active in the live, and making sure you guys hit that follow or sub button. Okay, that's the best thing that you guys can do to be here. Everything else is always very, very much appreciated. Also, like Marianne coming right back over the top after the first super chat and hitting with the $20 super chat after that. Can we get a second W's in the chat for Marianne for not only being the first one, but also come back on top with the $20 super chat? I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that, Marianne. That is very, very sweet of you, and it really does mean a lot. It really, really, truly does. All right, we're going to open up these phone lines. Let's get this thing going and get this thing moving. No time like the present. We ain't got all day, y'all. A-Cells, thank you so much. I see you over there on Twitch, too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
We're hanging in there. How about you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 53.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I sure do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because if he wanted to try to grow a beard, he probably could, unlike that balding shit you got on your face.
Bro, dude can't even keep his skin on. How's he going to keep a beard?
What are you talking about?
Have you not seen his calves, his freaking ankles, his hand that's literally just like the skin is just falling off of it? The guy's whole body is falling apart. What are you talking about? He could grow a beard. That dude tries. He's not even shaving right now. Okay?
Pull up a picture of his flesh falling off.
Of his hand? Oh, yeah, easily, dude. Yeah, all you have to do is type in Trump's hand.
Well, just pull it up on the screen, man.
Yeah, easy. What do you think I'm doing?
I don't see any skin falling off his hand.
Oh, look at this. Check that out. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Okay. But since you
was wrapped in flesh to me.
Here you go. Does that look like the hand of a healthy person right there? Look at that. Trump doesn't even have stubble.
Wait.
Trump
wait,
doesn't. Hold on. I'm talking. Hold on. I'm talking. Hold on. I'm
From his
talking.
skin falling
Hold on.
off
I'm
to being healthy?
talking. I'm talking. Do you see? Hey,
you are talking.
yeah.
You
so
know what
it's your
you're
turn to
not
be
doing?
quiet.
You're not growing.
Yeah, well, you're not saying anything because you're muted now. But do you see Trump's face there? You see how there's not even like a bit of stubble on it? Not even a bit, like not even a bit. That's because Donald Trump isn't shaving. Okay? His body has given up on him and it's just decided that he won't grow hair there anymore. He can't even keep hair on top of his head. That's why he's got to have that ridiculous toupee comb over that he's got over there. Okay? What makes you think someone that can't keep hair on their head is going to be able to grow hair on their face?
Because he has.
Oh, because he has. That's a great one. Anyways, do you have anything of actual intelligence to say, or should I move on to the next caller? Because I really have better things to do with my life.
Good luck going through puberty, man.
So you don't have anything of intelligence to say?
I did. I just did. I thought it was fairly...
Well, you're not very funny either. Don't quit your day job. Hi, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 37.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
So that's a good question, and the answer is yes, but I would like to know more about it before I explain why. Do you mean, do I regret having voted for him or not, or do you mean, do I currently think he's doing a good job?
Do you currently think he's doing a good job?
Okay. I think he could be doing better, honestly. I think he's doing an overall good job. I like his overall stance with immigration, how he's giving the incentives to self-deport. He's giving them the stipends and offering legal help for coming back for those who self-deport, for those who refuse to self-deport, for the criminals. He's rounding them up. He's going to sanctuary cities that are refusing to take them off the streets. He's doing it for them. I like those policies. I think he could, I don't like the tariffs. I think he could definitely step up his support for Ukraine a little bit more, be a little bit harder on Russia. I do like that he's, standing by Israel's side right now in terms of the whole situation with the hostages. And I do like his protection of women and his, saying no men and women's bathrooms, no men and women's sports and things like that.
Awesome. So you're saying his self-deportations, his support for Israel, and his protective women.
Pretty much.
All right,
Also,
cool. Hold on. No, that's fine. We can start there. That's totally cool. Okay. So you're saying that you think that the self-deporting thing is working. So let me ask you a question. If somebody is paid thousands and thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars in order to get some type of legal status in the United States, who have already gone through the court system and they've spent all this money, what makes you think $1,000, which is almost nothing in this economy, almost on any country on this planet, is going to incentivize anybody to self-deport?
Well, it has incentivized 1.5 million to self-deport.
I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to actually enunciate in the microphone. I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry. It has already gotten 1.5 million to self-deport because it's not being offered.
Hold on,
to
where's that number?
Who do belong here?
Hold on, where's that number?
I'm driving right now, but I've seen it reported.
Where did you see it reported?
I don't remember. Can
you give me any idea? Because that's not even a logical number. Why not? Even if, okay, that was true, that 1.5 million people wanted to self-deport, There is no way that our system actually contains the resources in order to even have 1.5 million people self-deport. We wouldn't even have the ability to do it in that amount of time frame since he put it in. It doesn't exist.
Or they've had their deportation scheduled.
Or they what?
Gotten on the plane yet, but
sir.
Or they've had their
Sir, are you on like a
scheduled.
Bluetooth or something?
I'm on my phone, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you're on, turn it off. Okay, I can't. Your words just sound like one long word going across.
That's more of an issue of me not enunciating properly.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that's never been an issue. It is an issue right now, and I can't understand you, and neither can people in the chat who said you sound like you're talking on a potato or you sound like you're underwater. And since they can't understand you, and I'm having a hard time understanding you, it's not very conducive to actually running a show if no one can understand the other person. Okay?
So let me try talking slower.
I don't want you to talk slower. I want you to turn off whatever you're talking on.
All right, let me pull over. Give me 30 seconds.
Okay. Anyways, while he's trying to figure out how to, get his voice where I can actually understand him, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button, hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, and we're going to get this thing going. And while he's doing that, I'll pull up to see if anybody is actually reporting any number of self-deportations. Okay. But I definitely have not seen any number even close to that. Okay. Nor, again, is that number even logical.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, great.
Sounds a little better.
So, all right, well, is what it is. I should be parked in like 2 or 3 minutes anyway. So, but regardless, so even if it's not where was I? Right. Even if they haven't all gotten out, their deportations have been scheduled, I believe.
Yeah, I can show it right here. So where you're getting that number is from Kristi Noem saying that, but all independent fact checkers that have checked it have put the number closer to 13,000.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
That's just Chris. That 1.6 million is just Kristi Noem just saying shit because she's not qualified to be in that position.
I mean, look, well, you and I can both, talk back and forth about it. I've heard you rip on people for saying Kamala's not qualified and say it's misogynistic. So we could both bad accusations at each other, or we could stick to the actual substance.
Well, that's not a matter of that's not a matter of hurling accusations. That's not a matter of hurling accusations. Kamala Harris was qualified. That's easy. Kristi Noem, what qualifications does Kristi Noem have to lead the Department of Homeland Security? Has she ever worked within Homeland Security?
Again, I'm not here to defend Kristi Noem.
No, I'm just asking, sir. It's not a matter of no, sir. See, now it's too late because now you brought up misogyny, and so now I'm asking the question. Okay, it's too late now, sir. Sir, we're here. What qualifications does Kristi Noem have to run the Department of Homeland Security?
Again, you said criticizing women makes someone guilty of misogyny. I'm not saying that.
Okay, well, Kamala Harris was literally the vice president of the United States, which you can literally not hold a job in the entire world that qualifies you more for being the president of the United States than being the vice president of the United States. So if you're saying that Kamala Harris isn't qualified, that the only way that could possibly be is misogyny. For me to say that Kristi Noem is not qualified to run the Department of Homeland Security when she's never worked in the Department of Homeland Security or near the Department of Homeland Security or with the Department of Homeland Security, and to be honest with you, before she took over, I'm not sure she could spell Homeland Security. Okay. Makes her unqualified to do the job. All right. So I'm just saying that she put that number out there because she just be saying stuff. She also just seems to be acting wherever she goes, which is really weird. It's very, very strange. But regardless of any of that. So yes, people are not going to go and freaking just self-deport for $1,000. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay. And the majority of people that on the reports that I'm seeing that self-deported were people that were already deporting anyway. So we pretty much just gave them $1,000 for fun.
So, well, I think we should incentivize good behavior. But that being said, your question was, why would $1,000 convince someone who spent thousands in the legal system to get here? And I was trying to tell you that it's explicitly not targeted at the people as illegal immigrants who do belong here, who we should be bringing in. It's simply targeted at those who broke the rules to get here.
Well, that would be absolutely incorrect because Donald Trump is sending ICE agents to arrest and detain people at courthouses where those people are going to their immigration cases. Okay, so
Right,
no,
there are
those
cases
people
where they weren't yet cleared of legal citizens, where they did break the rules to get in.
The question wasn't whether they were cleared of the legal system. You said that the $1,000 would incentivize them, and my point was that $1,000 is not going to incentivize people who are already spending tens of thousands of dollars on legal fees and lawyers trying to be here legally. And then you said they weren't doing that, and I'm explaining how they are.
Fair enough. I think there are lawyers taking cases pro bono, but we'll move on from it, and I'll grant the point to you.
Okay, I don't need points, sir. I'm just trying to get you to understand that $1,000 self-deportation is not helping anyone, and it's definitely not getting to the end of anything. Okay. Second of all, you made the thing about standing with Israel. My biggest question when it comes to that is, why do we need to stand by Israel? I thought Donald Trump was America first. I thought he was no wars. I thought he was the peace president. Why do we need to stand by Israel, who is probably the most capable military in that entire region and probably the last country in the world that needs our help?
So, for one reason, they unfortunately do need our help because they idiotically got stuck on our aid back under Nixon. We really should cut off aid on the timeline, and they should build back their own manufacturing abilities. In the meantime, they're an ally, and they need our support, and that's what you do with an ally in a war. You support them.
Oh, well, Donald Trump has shown no ability to support any allies whatsoever, right? Especially our ones that aren't Israel or, for some reason, Russia. He's been, on that case for some reason. But regardless of any of that, sir, we should only support our allies if they're doing the right thing. We shouldn't just support our allies just because they're our allies, right? Like the UK is our ally, right? If they just, without any reason,
a comedian for a mean tweet, yeah, we shouldn't support that.
I'm sorry, what are you whining about?
If they arrested a comedian for a mean tweet, yeah, we shouldn't support that.
Yeah, sir, you're talking about in a war. Is that a war?
No.
Okay, then how about we stay on topic?
Sure.
All right, awesome. So if the UK was just to go and attack Morocco, right? Unprovoked, they did nothing else, right? And they just went and attacked Morocco, right? For unprovoked for no reason. Do you think that we should just send as much money and weaponry as we can for, the UK to just wipe Morocco off the face of the planet, maybe kill all of their innocent civilians?
Well, I think that's a terrible analogy.
I don't care whether you think it's a terrible analogy. It's our ally. You're saying that we should always support our allies in war, even if they're doing a horrible thing. Yes, exactly what you just said. Okay,
nope.
You said we should always support our allies, especially in war.
I said generally.
No, you said always. You said
no. I
always.
said generally, or I just left out the qualifier.
No, you said always. Okay, but regardless, any of that, even generally, if we're talking about generally, and you want to make an exception, okay, for countries that are doing horrible things, then yes, when we look at Israel, then we should not be sending specifically American tax dollars and American weapons. And, for somebody who is indiscriminately bombing hospitals, indiscriminately killing children, indiscriminately killing non-combatants, right? So that would be a bad thing. Right now, hold on, I'm still talking. Okay, so as far as just defending themselves, if we wanted to provide certain weapons to Israel in order for them to defend themselves against their enemies in the region, I don't really have a huge problem with that, right? I think that we should be able to support our allies. And as far as an intelligence, apparatus in the Middle East, I think that they do absolutely a great job at providing us with that intelligence. I think that they do help to keep some stability in the region, right? But if it was just for their defense, I don't really have a problem with that. But they are going way outside of defense and going into an offense and specifically targeting civilians. So I don't know why either of us would want our tax dollars going to that.
Well, that's a false assertion that they're number one, you made two assertions. They're number one targeting civilians, which is not what they're doing. That's what Hamas did on October 7th. And number two,
I condemn Hamas.
They're indiscriminate. And number two, they're indiscriminately attacking civilians. Last I checked, they dropped more bombs than they killed people. You can't call that indiscriminate killing civilians.
Yeah,
their civilian to combatant ratio is lower than pretty much any urban warfare arena in recent history.
What's indiscriminately mean?
Without concern.
Without concern. So they're just firing, and whether it hits something or it doesn't hit something, they don't care.
Right, that's not what they're doing.
So if somebody is missing more than they're hitting, that is literally the definition of indiscriminately.
No.
Yes.
Because yes. Just because they're not killing. No, because just because they're not killing civilians doesn't mean they're not killing terrorists. It doesn't mean they're not taking out installations of rockets that are being shot at them. It doesn't mean they're not taking.
I don't have a problem with any of those.
Tunnels.
I don't have a
And
problem
those
with
are
any
all
of
things
those.
that don't kill civilians.
Okay, sir, but just because you do things that don't kill civilians doesn't mean that we neglect the things that you do that do kill civilians. Okay, what
Sure,
you're
but
saying
if
is,
you're indiscriminately going for civilians,
All right,
you
well, you
probably
just
drop
talk then.
more. You probably kill more. You probably kill more civilians than you drop
probably
bombs.
under what definition is that? They have
Under
killed
the
more
definition of
civilians.
a reasonable
They
person.
have killed more civilians than they've killed freaking terrorists.
Yes, that's every urban warfare arena.
Oh, really?
They've killed a significantly lower percentage.
Oh, really? That
Urban
hold on.
warfare, yeah.
What urban warfare arena did that exist in?
Look at ISIS.
Yeah, look at them.
I believe the civilian combat ratio is 9-1 there.
Oh, okay.
Israel's going somewhere between
Yeah,
2-1 and 1-1.
Where's your data on that?
That's the data cited by John Spencer.
John Spencer says it was 9-1. I would love to see that.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I mean, you can look it up.
I would
fact check me.
love to see that.
I mean, or you could just generally look at what John Spencer is saying about what Israel's doing, about the measures they're taking to avoid civilian casualties.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Oh no, sorry, I've read plenty of stuff from plenty of people. Okay, but none of that has anything
Have
to
you
do.
seen John Spencer?
Sir, I don't
John
give a
Spencer
fuck
is
who
the-
John Spencer is. Yeah, let me
Really?
make that very, very
He's the
clear.
head of the urban warfare division at West Point.
Cool, congratulations. I don't give a shit who John Spencer is. I'm looking for his data where he said that. If you're telling me that he's a professional, then tell me where I can find the data that supports that.
Just Google John Spencer, Israel,
Yeah, all
civilian,
right.
civilian to combatant ratio.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Mm-hmm.
He has been misquoted as saying Israel's upholding a gold standard because he does not believe there's a gold standard, but he does believe Israel is taking unprecedented steps to avoid civilian casualties. And he enumerates those steps.
Yeah, so what it says is not what you're saying at all.
What's it say?
Yeah. It's saying that the UN, EU, and other sources estimate that civilians usually account for 80% to 90% of casualties or 9-1 ratio in modern warfare. This has nothing, this is not quoting anything when it has to do with ISIS. Yeah. This just means that some would mean that 18,000 civilians have died in Gaza, a roughly one combatant to 1.5 civilian gives some lost likelihood for inflation of the death toll. The real figure could be closer to 1-1. Either way, the number one can be historically low for the modern era of warfare.
Thank you.
Cool. So why am I providing my weapons to kill civilians again?
Because it's a necessary component of self-defense.
It's a
That's what
necessary.
happens
Hold
in any
on.
war.
Where in here does it say anything about self-defense?
Are the hostages back?
Sir, we have no idea whether they freaking have those bombs are killing hostages or not. What do you mean it's not self-defense to go into another country? Unless you're doing it because they're trying to attack you, but they're not. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, what does the Geneva Convention say about bombing hospitals for self-defense?
It says it's allowed if it's being used in military bases.
All right, awesome, man. Can you show me where, we have proof that any of that have been used used as military bases?
I believe there was a video released where they had a huge.
No, I don't want a video
stockpile
released. I don't care
in
about a
one
video. I
hospital.
don't care about a video release, sir.
Oh,
I care about
can you show me evidence? I don't
actual
believe the
intelligence.
evidence. Wow.
Yeah. Well, a video doesn't mean anything, sir. Do you have an actual intelligence report that shows that? Because I've read multiple, and I mean dozens of intelligence reports that show that the likelihood of any of freaking the things that they're talking about being underneath a hospital is very, very low. And even if there was some in that, the Geneva Convention does not allow you to freaking bomb a hospital in order to get to a tunnel underneath it.
If it's being used for terror operations, it absolutely
The
does.
hospital
If the
can,
hospital's
but
being
that's
used
not
to
what
protect civilian operations.
That's not even what Israel
terror
claimed.
operations, it absolutely does.
That's not even what Israel claimed. Israel didn't even
no,
claim.
Israel claims it's also being used. They're also using weapons in the
Israel
hospital.
claimed
in the
that they were
hospital.
tunnels underneath the hospital that were being used for terrorist operations, and the Geneva Convention does not allow for that.
That's what Israel claimed for Nasser, and they got them too. Not Al Shifa, but a different hospital. I think that they did have weapons in the actual room.
Okay, well, you know what, sir? Maybe we just have an agree to disagree here thing, and that's totally
All
fine.
right.
Okay, I don't believe that my tax dollars should ever go to intentionally target civilians. Okay, and you
I
believe
agree.
you disagree. Okay, because you're literally arguing right now that I think for some reason that some guy from West Point says that their number of casualties is kind of low, and I believe the Geneva Convention says we can bomb the shit out of civilians as long as there's some terrorists nearby. Okay, and I completely
That's not what it says.
No, that's what
It
you're
says it's
saying.
being used
No,
for
sir,
cover.
sir, that's what you're saying. Okay.
No, you're misquoting me.
No, I'm not. I've actually asked you 3 multiple times to make sure I could confirm exactly what you're saying. Okay. So no, you are saying that it is totally okay that our dollars and our tax dollars and our weapons go to kill civilians as long as there's a possibility that we might, sir, I'm talking. As long as there's a possibility that we hit some terrorists along the way. And I completely disagree. So that's totally fine. We can have an agree to disagree on that.
I agree with the first sentence.
No, sir. We can have I'm talking. Sir, I'm talking. Sir, I'm talking. How old did you say you were?
You're misquoting me.
Sir, how old did you say you were?
How old are you? You're misquoting.
I'm 38. How old are you?
You're 37. So you should know better.
You're 38. Okay,
I would
appreciate if you started acting like it. Okay.
Great. You too. Stop misquoting me.
I did not misquote you at all, sir. I'm sorry that you want to backpedal on your argument now. Okay. And to be completely honest with you, sir, if I was you, I'd want to backpedal on my argument also. I totally understand, but that's fine. Okay. You backpedaled on your first argument. You backpedaled on your first argument too when I proved you wrong, and you're backpedaling on this one. That's totally fine, man.
We agreed to disagree on the first argument.
No, we did not. You backpedaled as soon as you got proven wrong. Okay. So let's just move to the third thing. You see
I didn't say I believed you. I said I'd cede the point to you.
See how you're still talking?
Yeah. It says how
well, you let me know when you're done, okay?
Sure. So with regards to the first thing, I did not backpedal. I said I could not challenge your challenges to my assertion, so I was willing to agree to disagree there. You may disagree with how I phrased it, whatever. With regard to the second thing, I agree with the first sentence of your characterization of what I said. I disagree with the clause of as long as it's being used, as long as there's a chance of making some terrorists. No. As long as terrorists are the target and the civilians nearby, their casualties are minimized to the best of the ability.
Hold on, nearby. Hold on. Are you not claiming that the terrorists were inside a civilian hospital?
Yes.
Okay. Are you making the claim, yes or no, that there are more civilians in that civilian hospital than there are terrorists?
Yes.
So you're making the claim that we should target the hospital because there could be a minimum amount of terrorists, even though the mass amount of the freaking casualties will be civilian.
Not minimum, but lower than half, a minority.
Oh, you think almost half of people in a civilian hospital are terrorists?
No, but I'd say you could have a significant amount, maybe 15, 20%.
15, 20%. Okay, cool. There is literally zero that says that any of those numbers are even close. Okay. You even said, I know which video you're talking about. You're talking about a video of them showing about weapon stockpiles. Okay. I think they had an estimate that there was like less than 10 people in a hospital that was housing hundreds and hundreds of people. Okay. And they still targeted that hospital. Okay.
Well, if being used to store munitions, then yeah.
There you go. Again, see, you are okay with killing hundreds and hundreds of people. Okay, as long as the target is the weapon stockpile that you believe to have existed, which you believe has existed, which literally no intelligence reports have shown.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, not literally no intelligence, but none you've seen.
Okay. Have you seen it?
I'm on the road.
Sir, have you seen it? Yes or no?
I think so.
You think so? You don't know so?
No, I don't have perfect recall of everything I've seen.
Well, and since I've never seen any intelligence and you haven't seen any intelligence, then I'm going to go ahead and assume that there is no intelligence, okay, until proven otherwise. All right. So again, we go right back to the argument that I was just saying before you wanted to go back and rehash the entire argument to get to where we are right now. You are okay, with our tax dollars and our weapons going to kill a mass amount of civilians in order to hit minimum terrorist targets, and I am not. Okay, I believe that if they really want to try to hit sir, I'm talking. I let you go through your entire thing. Be quiet now.
I'm correcting one word.
Okay, you can correct whatever you, sir. You can correct whatever you want when I'm done talking. Perfect. Okay, I am not going to sit here and say, hey, tens of thousands of children being killed or tens of thousands of innocent civilians are being killed. And you're talking about things when it comes to urban warfare. You're not even addressing the fact that the people that they're killing aren't even Hamas. They're not even associated with Hamas. They have nothing to do with Hamas. Okay, they are literally committing a genocide in this nation. And I have no freaking issue saying against that. I have no problem with Israel just as a whole. I have no problem with us being their allies. I have no problem with any of those things. Okay, but sitting here and just supporting those type of things, which are obviously against humanity, that are obviously, at least in my morals, morally reprehensible. Okay, I am not going to support that whatsoever. I didn't support it when Biden did it, and I sure as hell don't support it when Trump does it. Okay, but hey, if you want to support that, sir, if you want to support it, that's fine. Okay, so how is he protecting?
Wait, you claim a genocide?
Did I stutter?
No, I'm just surprised.
Okay.
A genocide means that you're killing the population more than you're not. I mean,
Yes.
The population is shrinking, not growing. There were 50,000 babies born by March of 2024. The entire death count, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, is 50,000.
Hold
even
on.
in 2025.
Hold the fuck on. Did you just make an argument that it's not a genocide because babies are being born?
Because more babies are being born than people have been killed.
Is that a real argument you just said with your mouth?
More babies have been born than people killed.
Is that a real argument that you just said with your mouth?
Yes, if the population is not shrinking, it's not genocide. Genocide means attempting to end the population.
That's
you can't
funny,
end it if it's growing.
That's funny. I wanted to. That was a good laugh. I needed that today.
I mean, again,
here's the actual definition of a genocide for everybody else, according to the United Nations, and it has nothing to do with how many babies are born. Okay, the United Nations defines genocide as the 1948 Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crime of Genocide as any act committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. These acts including killing, causing serious harm, inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring about destruction, imposing measures to prevent birth, and forcibly transferring children of the group. The convention requires parties to prevent and punish these acts. Okay.
Thank you. So intent to destroy.
Yep, and they have an intent to destroy them. And
if you kill fewer of them than those that are born. If more are born than die, then you're not destroying them sufficiently. It's just doing a crap ass job if they're trying to genocide.
Okay. Yeah. Also, the birth rate in Gaza has significantly declined, so you have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways,
it would need to decline by.
Oh no, sir! You're saying no, sir. No,
you by like over 90%.
You just said it was growing. You just said the birth rate was going up.
No, I said the population.
Listen to this guy backtrack. Listen to this guy backtrack, saying that the birth rate, he just literally said the birth rate is up in Gaza. If they're doing it, it's doing a bad job. He literally just said that. He literally just said that the birth rate is up. And as soon as I pull up that there's a birth rate decline, backtrack. Dude, do you have the ability to make an argument without backtracking? All right. Do you have the ability to argue something without backtracking? Yes or no?
Well, I am, and as you
are backtracking. You are correct.
No, I am arguing without back.
All right. Well, I really wanted to move on to the third argument, but it shows. It's very much obviously shown that you don't want to actually have any type of good faith argument here, because I believe that is the third or fourth thing, okay, that you have backtracked on. Literally in like what? How long have we been on? I don't even know. 10 minutes? Let's see how. Yeah.
I guess because I got to run in about 2 minutes.
Well, before we do that, you said birth rate, right? You didn't say birth rate. You said population, right?
I said the population is growing.
Awesome. Population is also down.
Deaths. Yeah, except it can't be because
except for population is actually down. So I mean, even if you didn't say birth rate, even if you didn't say birth rate, so even if you didn't say birth rate, so even if you didn't say birth rate, so even if you didn't say birth rate, you still lose the argument. Okay,
great,
but nice try.
Now I'll tell you why I don't.
I truly do not care. Okay. I am tired of listening you backtrack on every single argument every single time. I prove you wrong. You just change your stance and you move the goalposts over and over and over and over and over. Okay. And it is a very, very sad and bad faith way to freaking argue. All right. Oh no, where did you go? You know, I don't know who that dude is. I've definitely talked to him before. And it's really funny because he did the exact same thing last time. Literally, all that guy knows how to do is backtrack his arguments. He has no ability to actually have a good faith argument. And guess what? Last time, he also had something to catch. I remember it. Last time, he also had like a plane to catch or a bus to catch or something like that. I remember it specifically. His voice is very specific. Woo! Anyways, I really wanted to get to the last argument, but I guess he really didn't want to get there. Jaden, thank you so much for the $10 over on $10 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. It said, thought I'd mention Trump allowed 114,000 H-1Bs in this year, which is probably double the amount of illegal immigrants that have been removed, which is a net negative. That's why entry-level jobs are gone. That's a very good point, Jaden. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Jaden again said the White House admitted Trump being a pedo to be an inside source. That shit was fucking funny. That shit was funny. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? The new claim from Republicans is that Donald Trump had to freaking be a pedo because he was an inside source. He was an FBI informant from the inside. I don't actually know if that's true or not, but I heard it and it's funny. I actually don't know if that's true or not, but it is funny. Kurt Traveler says cheese tastes. Thank you so much, Jaden. Nobody's in the chat for Jaden. Kurt Traveler says cheese tastes good. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Nick said Kanye West for president, in my opinion. You've done that before. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't remember that dude's name. That dude that was on there, he's a TikTok guy, and he does that on every single person's live. He goes on every single person's live and tries to do that. It's really funny. He gets walked every time too. Oop. He gets walked every single time. It's fucking hilarious. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 30 years old.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do support Trump. That's irrelevant. I just want to know why you have to be mean.
All right. If I wanted to listen to you whine, I would get paid as a therapist, okay? Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, folks?
Doing great. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Let me tell you what I support. Let me tell you what I do.
Jared, it's a yes or
Let me tell you
no.
what I'm sorry?
It's a yes or no.
Oh, well, I mean, on some things, yeah, on some things, no. I guess it depends. But let me just say one thing. America's a terrorist nation filled with imperialists that are...
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why is that?
I don't really know. I like watching live streams. I think you're a cool guy.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I just hope you have a good day.
You too.
All right. See you.
Later. All right. That was interesting.
It's insane.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 32. How are you? How old are you?
I'm 38. Do you support Trump?
I am for Trump.
Awesome.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, sure. Tell me why.
It starts at a young age, growing up in poverty, looking at the world around me, and seeing how much everybody struggles. And in our struggles, we see greatness coming.
Was that it?
Oh, no, I wasn't aware if I was still on the call or not.
Yeah. What? Yeah, Socrates, tell me all about it.
See, in making America great again and making America fit again, Trump's general motto and his best feat yet was to be in a game show to win one
It's
small loan of $1 million.
insane.
And in turn, writing a big, beautiful bill. A big, beautiful bill that was specifically designed to give tax breaks to American hardworking, blue-collar individuals. and a median percentile of somewhere around $165,000 annually. And I support that because it greatly closes the gap between 1 percentile earners and the middle class 49 percentile earners.
Yeah. So,
And
anyways,
that's
that's not even close to true.
it'll
That
just-
$65,000.
leave-
Yeah, that $65,000 number is the tax cut for the top 1%. The average person under Donald Trump's tax cuts
well,
get
we
about
have, like,
$600.
Data.worldbank.gov and
Sure. Where can I look it up?
Since it's
Data.worldbank.gov. I'll pull it up.
Oh,
Data.worldbank.gov.
I support our commander in chief.
Hold on. What's the name of the
because I have-
article on that? Where can I find that?
Data.worldbank.org. My apologies.
.org. My bad. Okay. And then what is it? Like a tax cuts thing?
Well, data.worldbank.org is a collaboration of
Yeah.
commodities.
Let's take a look. Indicators. Let's see. Aid effectiveness, grants, climate change, economy and growth. Let's just see if we can find this a little more specifically.
While you're looking that up, the primary reason that I have to play the devil's advocate is because I've been instilled with Esperanto, the one who hopes that maybe some funds will trickle down once more.
We're not really gonna
and
argue
the
trickle down
ability
economics on here, are we? We can do better than that, right?
We're not arguing.
Like, we can do
I'm
better
hoping
than that.
One day it's possible.
Yeah, that wouldn't be any fun.
And the support. We could talk about it. Lobbying.
Let's see. Tax Cuts and Jobs
And
Act.
if we turn a blind eye to it, then we can turn a blind eye to the
Individuals,
most.
credits, deductions, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't see anywhere on here that says that. Sorry.
Oh, it's deep in there.
All right, where's it at? Can you
One
point
of
it
the
up?
things I supported Trump about is because in that great, beautiful bill, there was one thing called the digital discrimination law that was passed. It was in a 1,000-page document and is associated with the passing of the law to deem it illegal for financial institutions and others to discriminate against people based on their credit worthiness. And if that's the only point I can make about why I would support Trump,
Okay.
then I would have to make that point. Thanks for answering my call.
Sure, man. Have a good one.
Hey, you have a good one.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next person. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. I can't put that on the screen, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that $65,000 thing is the top 1%. That's the people who got that on average with Donald Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and that carried over in the big beautiful bill. But it was a nice try. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Honestly, I feel like I've just grown tired of like the Democratic Party. Like they just always like trying to ally themselves with corporate powers, big pharma, like financial elites, just a bunch of groups that I can't stand with. There's always talk of progress, but they still rely on the same donors, same
Hold on, but
salaries.
Republicans do the same thing.
It's fair. Like Trump, no matter how imperfect, he does try to position himself as an outsider.
No, he
He's more-
tells you he's an outsider. He took billions from big oil.
I come from a community that's hit really hard by job losses, and Trump's message is just bringing back American jobs and challenging outsourcing. It just resonates with me.
Well, yeah, sorry. I mean, bringing back jobs, I think resonates with anybody. I think that's true. The problem is that Donald Trump's job numbers are abysmal. In June, he lost jobs for the first time in the American economy since COVID. Right, his job numbers last month are projected like 22,000, which is like the worst since June, which was the worst since COVID. Right, he's had just bad manufacturing jobs are leaving at a freaking horrific rate. The unemployment rate's up for the highest since in 4 years. So yeah, I mean, it's really nice to like have the rhetoric and say like, oh, I want to bring American jobs back. I think that everybody should want to bring American jobs to the United States. The problem is that Donald Trump is not bringing back American jobs. He's actually getting rid of American jobs. Where Biden didn't come out and say he's bringing back American jobs, but created 16 million jobs in 4 years.
That's a little misleading considering COVID.
Sure, you're right. If we take away the COVID jobs, then he only created 9 million jobs, which is still almost double what Donald Trump did in his first term. And honestly, probably won't even be that really less than that in his second term because he's doing so poorly so far.
You see, that's one of my biggest problems. Is I feel like liberals, Democrats as a whole, like they don't even give this man a chance. It didn't matter what he does. Like whatever he does, it doesn't matter. He's a
President for
bad guy.
4 years.
No, I'm saying, but it's a new term. You feel me? Like people voted for him.
Yeah,
He
sir,
won the
sir.
popular
Those
vote,
numbers
you know
I
what
just
mean?
gave
And
you,
people don't even give him a chance.
sir. Those numbers I gave you are the current numbers.
I understand, but he's been it's been what, 7 months, 8 months?
Sir, we were at record job creation. Job creation was coming back. We were getting a whole bunch of new jobs. Okay. Unemployment rate was super low. Inflation was on its way down. Okay. Then Donald Trump comes in, puts in new policies, and all that stuff stops. So what am I supposed to wait for, sir? His policies are directly having negative effects on our economy right now. What should I be waiting for?
I mean, it's a time thing. I studied economics, and I'm not trying to come from a place of like I know more than you, but I'm saying like these things take time.
Well, sir,
More than
some
8
things
months,
take time.
more than a year, more than 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
So some things take time. Okay, some things take
A lot
time.
of these things
But
in
sir,
politics take time.
when you have things like tariffs, right? Let's take tariffs let's use tariffs as an example because it's honestly the easiest one to understand. Right? When you have things like tariffs and tariffs create uncertainty in our system, right? Then jobs stop hiring. Okay? There's no waiting on that. The tariff, when companies don't know how to project out their business, when they don't know how to project their inventory, when they don't know how to protect their profits for the future, when they don't know how to do all of those things, it automatically, right, stops their ability to hire because they don't know what they're hiring for. Okay? So, yes, there are certain things that could take time. I agree with you. There are certain things that have the probability of taking time over long periods of time. Okay? But the job numbers that are happening right now and the negatives in our job economy are because of Donald Trump's current policies. Okay? And that continued uncertainty is not just going to freaking become certain until Donald Trump starts becoming certain. Right? It literally would have been better for him. Okay? Like if you say you think his tariff policy is a good policy, right? Which it's not at all. But let's just pretend like you think his tariff policy is a good policy. It would have been better for him to just put the tariffs on and leave them and not go back and forth on them, not come up with these crazy fake deals, not come up with saying that countries are going to freaking, invest all of this money that's impossible. Right? It would have been better for him to just put the tariffs in, leave them there, and not budge. Okay? And at least then businesses would have had an ability to be able to project out their business futures for the next 5 years, which would have lowered the uncertainty, which would have allowed them to create jobs. All right?
I understand that, but at some point, it's like a tactical advantage that he's trying to use. He's trying to use the size of America's economy to kind of push people around and get the things that we need and want, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's working perfectly, like we don't have to lie here, you know what I'm saying? Like not everything's turning out exactly how we want it to. But at the end of the day, like I think rhetoric is a very important thing. So when he's saying all these things about how he's fighting for the working class and he's doing all these things, like at a certain point, like leaders are, the words that they say matter, you know what I mean? And I haven't heard any Democrat leadership that came out and said something that I actually agree with. Every stance they take is just anti-Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never like,
what
hey,
stance do you want? Because they have stances on everything. You're just not listening.
I feel like at this point, every time I turn on CNN, it's always. Hey,
why would you
Trump
turn on
this,
CNN?
That's one of the medias I watch. I watch CNN.
Why?
I watch Fox.
They're
I watch
horrible.
Bigger ones. No, I know. I use other
CNN's
methods too, but
horrible.
these are the ones that-
CNN's horrible. Fucking Fox is even worse somehow, which is crazy because CNN's fucking bad. And to be worse than CNN, you have to be Fox.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, this is how a majority of people.
So hold on,
consume
you're turning on media that's shit, okay? That's trash, okay? And you're saying, oh, well, Democrats are just anti-Trump. Well, you're not asking Democrats. You're just turning on CNN. CNN's owned by a Republican, right?
I didn't know that, but CNN is definitely where majority of Democrats get their information.
CNN is not, sir. I don't know a singular Democrat that gets their news from CNN. Not a single one. And I know a lot of Democrats.
It's not the only place I get my news. I use Ground News too. You feel me? That's
Ground news isn't a
what
bad
it
thing.
is,
At least you
right?
can see your bias in ground news. I don't have a problem with ground news.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't
use
know.
Ground News
But
too,
sir, but CNN is not like CNN does not like own the rights to what Democrats think or something. Okay.
no, I'm not saying they do, but a lot of Democrats, in my experience, you're saying it's completely different, but in my personal experience, like a lot of Democrats follow CNN.
No.
They just, yeah.
No, it's just not true.
You wouldn't say CNN is a left-leaning media outlet?
CNN might have been a slightly left-wing media outlet in the past.
Slightly left-leaning? You think it's a slightly left-leaning?
Actually, yeah, we can
I'm
actually
not
look
even-
at like
this is
things like
not
media.
why-
We can actually look at things like
Oh.
mediabias.org or factcheck.org or all these certain things that you can see that they were, traditionally a slightly left-leaning organization. The right told you they were a far left organization, but they really weren't. MSNBC has always been the more far left organization, and I consider that not really far left, but like more left leaning, you know what I'm saying? They're pretty far to the left. They don't really have much, like independent media of what's going on, right? And the right, and Fox News, of course, is always very far right. CNN was like slightly to the left, and when they were slightly to the left, they actually weren't that bad of a news organization. Now they've tried to be so centered that they've just become unreliable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean-
regardless of any of that, sir, just because you don't hear what the left is talking about on CNN doesn't mean that the left doesn't have an idea of what they're talking about.
I mean, honestly, like there's some genuine disagreements for the left, so maybe that's why I'm saying like I don't follow a lot of their points because I just fundamentally disagree with them.
Like
You
what?
understand what I'm saying? So, like, there's just certain things like I don't really want to get into it right now. That's not what I called, but there's just certain.
Well, then what
fundamental
are you
things I
trying to
don't-
get to? Because I don't feel like we're getting to anything.
So there's certain issues like there's the whole trans issue. Like I don't agree with that. There's the whole like anti-free speech movement that's kind of coming about. I don't agree with that. Like again, that kind of ties into the trans issue. That's really my biggest issue with the
But
trans
Donald
issue.
Trump is the one who's anti-free speech.
I disagree though.
What are you talking about? Donald Trump has literally
would be
been found by a
anti-free
federal court to have violated the First Amendment like 3 months ago.
What did he do?
Yeah, so by kicking out AP because they wouldn't call the frickin' Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America against his will. He's been trying to get rid of people at Columbia University because of people protesting and using their free speech. He's trying to make it illegal to burn the flag, right, which is a protected under the First Amendment under free speech, as said by the Supreme Court. He's trying to frickin' take away university funding from multiple different universities, including universities like Harvard, for having for them allowing their students to actually have free speech. Like literally every single time that somebody tries to do free speech that he doesn't like, Donald Trump is the one that's trying to shut down that free speech.
I mean, for the AP thing, I can start there. Like, I don't think if it's the White House, right? Like, that's where he lives or supposedly is supposed to live, the president. I know he stays in Florida for the most
Sir,
part. but
ignore
whatever.
that one if you don't like it. He's literally trying to take funding away from Harvard and finding Harvard for literally having their students exercise their free speech.
No, I think it was more about the anti-Semitism. There's a group of Jewish community kids that are living there that are not feeling safe. And that's a whole different argument. Again, that's a fundamental, like, I feel like the left.
Yeah.
doesn't
What about Colombia?
mess with Jewish
What
people.
about the fact that he said he was going to try to get rid of Zoran Mamdani and send him to another country because
He's a
he had socialist.
Like America
So
has a
what?
history of
You're
fighting
allowed to be
socialism.
socialist in the United States. That's free speech.
I understand that, and that's why nothing happened to Zoran, whatever, Mamdani.
Sir,
You feel me?
sir,
That's why he's still in the race.
you see what I'm saying though? You say up here like, hey, I'm against people not being able to use their free speech, right? You say I'm against that. But then when I give you 10 different examples of Donald Trump limiting free speech in the United States, instead of saying, oh, you're right, I don't like that, that goes against free speech, you immediately go on the defensive and start defending Donald Trump. Right? So you
Well,
don't
I don't see that the way-
actually care about so what did the Democrats do to take away your free speech?
Well, first of all, the compelled speech thing with the trans, where they're saying like we're putting trans people in danger by calling them by anything, name calling is not a crime. I would never call a trans person out of whatever they want to because I have respect for people.
Sir,
At the
hold
end of the
on.
day,
What, where has the Democrats said any of that?
That's okay. Maybe not the Democrats. But
Well, then,
liberals
sir,
as a
how have
whole
the Democrats tried to take away your free speech?
Okay, let me say liberals, then, not Democrats. Maybe the Democrats haven't came out and said it, but liberals as a whole have definitely there's a whole trans movement where you have to call people by their preferred pronouns.
You don't have
That's
to
a
do
real thing.
anything.
Yeah, you don't have to do
Yeah,
anything.
you're just
now,
a
but
dick if you
it's
don't.
working towards that way. No, and I agree, but I just don't like the fact that we're getting very close to a line where they're going to compel our speech. Because now it's just drawing a line.
So
don't
so
like either side.
so
either.
Donald Trump, who is literally using the power of the federal government to change people's speech, okay, is totally fine. But the liberals, not even sir, you do realize that they told Harvard that they have to freaking hire more teachers that go more along with Donald Trump's rhetoric, right?
Mhm.
How is that not limiting Harvard's free speech to hire to be an independent organizations that hire teachers that speak on what they want to speak on?
Yeah, but I don't think it was that they can't do it. I think he was pulling federal funding. Am I saying that wrong? He's not
Yes,
giving them
that is
federal
him
funding
trying
if they're doing that.
if he's pulling federal funding, he is trying to compel someone not to have their free speech. Do
They
you
can
do you
still
not
say
understand,
whatever they
sir,
want. They're just
sir,
gonna
sir?
lose the funding.
Yes, and that, sir, do you understand what compelling someone to do something is?
I think so. Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to
So,
claim.
sir, if you are literally saying, hey, you are getting all of these federal research funds, okay, if you don't change the way you speak, okay, I am going to take that funding away, then he is using the power of the federal government to compel speech, right? Like, dude, we can keep going. We can talk about the fact that he made himself like the head of the Kennedy Center because he didn't like, like the performing arts that were happening there, or how he's trying to compel the Smithsonian, all right, to take down speech that's like pretty much like talks about slavery and stuff like that. So he's trying to compel people's free speech when it comes to that. We can go on and on and on and on and on Donald Trump using the power of the federal government to compel free speech. Okay, while your whole argument towards liberals is you think that the rhetoric that they have right now might be a violation of free speech in the future.
You know, and I think you have a good point. And maybe I'm not phrasing it right. I feel like intention is very important. And I feel like Trump's intentions with all these moves, it's not to be, there's no like malice in that. You know what I'm trying to say? And maybe the Democrat side is not malicious either, but it feels like it to me. When you say I have to call somebody by a certain name. Again, I said I'm the kind of person I would do that. But when you're compelling it, and I know you're saying it's in the future, but like it's not that far in the future.
Sir,
Like,
no one is
Democrats
compelling.
get back in power,
Sir,
I think that should.
look, sir, the entire argument that you're arguing, okay, like let me give you an example, okay, like if you were to just call me a whole bitch, okay, a lot of people would probably say, hey, if you did that, you're a jerk. You're a very mean person, and that is probably not a good thing that you did that. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? But is anyone saying that you can't do it? No, not at all. That's exactly what's happening with trans people, okay? If you don't want to call somebody if somebody asks you to call them by, their preferred name or their preferred pronouns, okay? You don't have to do it. There's no law or any, not even an introduced law that says you can or can't do it, okay? It's just saying you're kind of a dick if you do. If you don't,
yeah, but
right?
their rhetoric has kind of been moving them more to a point. Of
No,
saying,
that's
like,
just
hey,
that's
like,
just somebody
we're
calling you a
endangering
dick.
Trans people by calling these people out of their pronouns. How are we endangering these people? They're not in no danger. You know what I'm saying?
They're not
just
in
name
more
calling.
danger. You do realize trans people are like one of the highest level of sexual assault victims in the United States, right? Per capita.
What does that have to do with name calling? If I call you a trans, it doesn't make you more likely to get raped. Is that what you're trying to say?
Whoa, hold on. I didn't go that far, but I just said, you said they are not in any danger. I was just correcting you there.
No, I'm saying me name calling somebody wouldn't put them in more danger.
Yeah, you're right. In most cases, probably name calling is not going to put people in more danger. Also, I've never actually heard anyone say that. Okay, and maybe there is some data to show that using people's referring to people in the wrong way. I know that certain things like limiting bathroom use and stuff like that can put people in more danger, 100%, or forcing them like into prisons where like that do not meet certain gender norms and stuff like that. That can also very much endanger trans people, right?
Don't go to prison. And with the bathroom thing.
Don't go to prison. Are you saying that our prison system is perfect?
No, it's not perfect.
Okay, well then let's not talk about that. Regardless of whether you go to prison or not, you still have rights. Okay, so there's lots of things that trans people can be in danger for not recognizing them as trans. I've never heard someone say that freaking not using the correct pronouns is putting them in danger. I don't know where you're hearing that from.
I mean, I've definitely heard them say that. Like,
Who?
I don't know exactly. Let me pull it up. Give me a second.
Okay, well if you don't know, I mean, it's not really that serious to me. I don't really need to hear it that bad, but it's just a matter of fact that like, dude, like trans people, just like anybody else, are just people, right? They're just people who are trying to live their everyday lives, go to work, take care of their families, hang out with their friends, freaking, and try to make it on this giant globe of freaking, depression, everything else that we got in this world. And I just think this hyper concentration on trans people is just absolutely ridiculous, right? Like, why do we have this why have trans people become this like subject of American politics? Just fucking leave them alone and let them fucking do their freaking live their fucking life, man. I get so tired of fucking just talking about trans people to people. Like, it's just fucking weird, man. The obsession is strange.
I'm all with you. The problem for me personally, and I don't know if people agree with me or not, but my problem with the trans thing is it's becoming such a large thing. It's being normalized to the point where like people are becoming trans because they're being introduced to it at such a young age. Like, these kids are being taught about being transgender. There's no need for that.
That's dumb. That's not true.
Okay, I mean,
people don't become trans because they're being introduced to it. Okay, people might be being introduced to it at a younger age, and so therefore they're recognizing and having the name put as trans at them at a younger age, which is a good thing because that can allow for doctors to be able to help them at an earlier age, which can prevent different medical problems down the line, especially when it comes to mental problems for people that are trans, right? So like that's a better thing, but like this is the exact same thing that like as we saw throughout the years, where the number of people that identified as gay in the United States increased over decades, right? Well, did the number of gay people really increase, or did the number of people that were able to actually be open about being gay because it became more acceptable in the United States, did that increase? Well, it's obviously the latter. The number of people didn't increase. Okay, the recognition of those people is what's increased.
Wait, hold on. We can't just move it. How is it obvious though? I don't see how that's obvious.
So you think
if I raised a little boy and I said, "Hey, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay," every single day, like, and they were raised in a gay household, and it's not even gay, trans household, like, the kid is going to be more likely to be something other than straight.
No, you'd have a very confused child if they're not gay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's no difference between that and raising a child with two straight parents who is gay and telling that kid over and over, "You're straight, you're straight, you're straight, you're straight, you're straight, you're straight, you're straight," when they're actually gay. What you end up with is a very confused child. Okay, and there's no difference by reversing it, right? It's just as bad both ways, right? What you do is you raise children to just be children, okay? And children will make those decisions based off of off their biology, off of how they were born, right? But like, yeah, just as bad as it is to tell a kid that they're gay from the time they're very young is just as bad as telling someone that they're straight from the time they're born if they're not. And that happens all the time. We have people literally being like that get sent to like pray the gay away camps and stuff in the United States, right? Horrific stuff. But anyways, I feel like this conversation has kind of reached its like natural end, so I'm gonna move on to the next caller. But you have
from here.
What?
No, I'm saying it's already peaked. It's only going down from here.
Yeah, you're kind of getting repetitive, to be honest with you, and I don't mean that to be rude. Just time to move on.
That's fair enough. I don't have nothing else to say.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one then, all right?
Yeah, you too.
Bye. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller and keep this thing going. Just got to hit a super chat real quick. Stacy, saying Trump isn't anti-free speech is wild. He's literally telling the Smithsonian and the Holocaust Museum that, what they can display. Yeah, literally getting rid of freaking... Literally, I didn't even see that over. Literally getting rid of things like that slavery existed in the United States. Like trying to freaking, oh well, Pete, we talk about how slavery was too bad. Like yeah, because slavery was really bad. It's actually a lot worse than it's taught. Just trying to whitewash history is really sad. Okay, that's really, really sad. But thank you so much, Stacy. I really, really appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I really, really appreciate that. Also, thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Taurus for the 5 gifted, and make sure you send a W, special W in there if you got one of those gifteds from Taurus at 100%. All right, we're gonna open up these phone lines, keep this thing going. If you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats open. As you've seen, I've had gifted memberships open and members and all that fun stuff. Also, I do have my live gift goal. I also have, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I also have my pay links in my bio. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I knew there were some of them in there. Anyways, any of those ways you'd like to support. And if none of those, just make sure you guys are here and hanging out, hitting that sub button, hitting that follow button, turning on notifications, sending a chat in there, keeping that the chat going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
So it is. Nigger.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm pretty good. 29.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
No, I do not. I just want to say you're doing a great job. Also, the guy, the previous scholar, he don't know anything about econ. I studied econ, and everything that he said, it was wrong. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad. I don't pretend to be an economist, but hopefully I hold my own okay. Hopefully I'm holding my own okay. I don't pretend to be an econ pro. I'm definitely more of a I forgot what I'm for now. Oh my god, it's been a long day. It's obviously been a long day. We're gonna keep this thing going. Well, no callers for a second. Oh, that's strange. Usually we have callers for a lot longer than this. Hopefully I don't have to do like a little restart. Hello? All right. Well, we're gonna see if we get any more callers over here. Hopefully, I don't have to do a restart today. That's kind of lame. I actually don't even know if I will or not. We'll see what's going on and keep this thing going. Y'all, welcome in. If you guys are new here, welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Usually we have phone calls like all night long.
It's insane.
But it does slow down every once in a while. Hello, how are you?
Yo,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I don't know. Not, to be honest, I don't really know. I don't necessarily support him, but I think all the options are kind of shit.
But there is no option. I'm just asking if you supported what he's doing right now.
Oh, no, not really. Kind of think
All right.
he's a bigot and he lies a lot. I've heard him lie a whole bunch.
He does do a lot of that, man. But I am going to move on to somebody who's a Trump supporter. I appreciate it. You all right?
Okay, can I ask you one thing though?
What's up?
Yeah, that last guy that was talking about the trans people. I just want to see what you have to say. I don't necessarily think that I think he's he seems like a little bit of a butthead, but I do think there's a point to be made about like a lot of people just making a whole fad out of things, and then when real people that are actually like trans and minorities have real problems, it kind of gets minorized by the fucking.
It's not a
idiot.
fad, sir. It's less than 1% of the population.
No, I don't even think it's trans. I'm talking about like a lot of people, like black people. A lot of them have real issues like suppression, and then fucking people putting guns and crack into their hoods and stuff. Like I think a lot of the vocal people are the minority, and I think it just makes them sound like dickheads. And then people call in to talk to you, and then I don't know, it just kind of incites divisiveness, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I think you're a good dude. I just wanted to see what you thought.
Sir, I have literally zero thoughts about what you just said, and honestly, I can't even track what you're saying, to be completely honest with you. Okay, but I hope you have a good night. All right, man. I don't know what he just said. Jen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. WC chat for Jen. Jen asked if I like scary movies. I do like scary movies. I actually really, really like scary movies. Real scary movies though, not like some like oh, it's kind of creepy. Like I want some like scary, like jump scare, freaking gory stuff. I want the whole thing. Hello, how are you?
Is your refrigerator running?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Ryan asked if he made up a few words during that last one. Yes, I think divisiveness and so I forgot what the other one. It was like suppress. It was close to suppression. I don't remember what it was. I think. Anyways, hi. How old are you?
58.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, I think, all this talk about what Trump's doing wrong, let's take a look at what's going on with the Democrats. Why is it that they've become so unpopular so quickly? It's because they chose too many topics to too many hills to die on.
Well, that I agree with.
And thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, no, the Democrats have had this huge problem where, because they are, attempting to be so inclusive that they kind of spread their arms too wide, and then it becomes a whole just big group of special interests instead of being one targeted, branded, focus, right? And I think that's the one big thing that the Democrats need to work on is being able to actually lay out a composite, logical, stance on what they have, because it's pretty proven that Democratic economic policies and stuff like that are superior, right?
Right.
And if they would just focus on that instead of becoming a whole group of special interests, I think the Democrats would do a lot better.
Well, and good, bad, or ugly, Trump came up with a plan. Is the plan going to work? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to micromanage it the entire way. It's like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to see if it's growing or not. He was voted in as president. He had a plan, a very good plan. Kamala Harris didn't seem to have a plan. The only thing that we could come up with was that it was going to be very similar to what Biden did, which clearly people weren't seeing that as the future vision. Trump had a plan. People liked his plan. He had some issues that were very popular, and he's working on them. And he's working on them diligently.
Awesome. What was his plan?
And quickly. Well, one plan was to close up the border wall and deport as many illegal immigrants as possible. That's one plan.
But see, the problem, sir, and that's a just fine plan, okay? But the issue with that plan is that that's Biden's plan. Okay.
Well, Biden didn't do it. Biden
yes,
allowed
he tried to do it, but Donald Trump stopped him.
Well, Biden took down the wall, allowed illegals.
No. Hold on. None of that is true. Joe Biden had a comprehensive immigration reform plan that was written by a Republican, a Democrat, and an independent with over 90% support in the Senate. Okay, that would have immediately the day it was signed shut down the border, added more border patrol, added more border protection, and built a border wall. Literally built Donald Trump's border wall, except for even better. Okay, and Donald Trump.
Why didn't he do it?
Because Donald Trump called the Senate and told them to block the bill because he told them if that bill gets passed, then Donald Trump can't say that Biden sucks on the border, and so therefore he can't run against him on it.
Donald Trump was a private citizen. How is he controlling the
Isn't
Senate?
that sad?
Yeah, well, if that's true, that's sad, but I don't believe it is.
Well,
that's
multiple Republican senators got on Fox News and said it was true. And it makes sense because, again, it was written primarily by a Republican. The head of the bill was Senator Lankford out of Oklahoma, who is literally considered the fourth most conservative senator in the Senate. Fourth most conservative. Big Trump guy.
Unless there was just a ton of Democratic junk packed into this bill, which there was a lot of bills like that. I don't know why Trump would block anything that had to do with blocking illegals from coming across the border, because it's very clear that that's something that he doesn't want to have happen.
No, that's not true.
Nor do I or most of the people living in Arizona.
No, it's very clear that Donald Trump wants to fix the problem. But he wants to fix it. He just didn't want Biden to fix it because he wanted to be able to run for president. Okay, because Donald Trump cares more than anything. He cares about headlines and making the news. Okay, and it's very easy for Donald Trump to go up and say, "Oh, Biden wants to let all the migrants in. Biden wants to do this. Biden wants to do that. This is why you need to elect me. Kamala Harris is the same as Biden. That's why you want to elect me." Without saying like, "Oh, well, Biden did attempt multiple times actually to pass legislation that would have fixed this, and the Republicans stopped it every ounce of the way, and then specifically Donald Trump stopped the last one." Okay. He did it.
Okay. So I've heard your.
But let me ask you a question. Like, I mean, if the Republicans wrote the bill, why else would the Republicans block the bill?
Are you talking about the bill that Biden had?
Yeah, the Lankford bill.
Oh, I don't know the details behind that. I've never heard that before. I never heard that Donald Trump had the power to control Congress while he was a private citizen. I still don't know if I believe that or not. And that's fine. I know that Donald Trump's incentives are to stop illegal immigration coming across the border, and I'm all about that.
Well, Biden wanted to do that too. Biden wanted to do that first.
Well,
Biden
I wish he would have. That's the difference.
I wish he would have too.
Biden. Trump is making it happen. Biden just did a lot of talking.
Trump literally blocked the bill.
Well, it's happening though. He's
Sir,
doing
sir,
it.
sir,
He's
sir,
doing it.
sir, what you're trying to do, okay, is give credit to Trump for putting out the fire that he started. Okay?
I don't really care who gets the credit, honestly. Here's the thing.
You're doing it right
As
now.
much
You're
as
saying
much as-
Biden should have done it. Biden tried to do it. Trump stopped him. And now you're turning around and saying, oh, well, Trump really cares about this. Sir, if he really cared about it, why would he stop it?
I think if the United States citizens truly believe that Trump tried to stop illegal border crossings while he was a citizen, he wouldn't have been voted in as president.
Well, sir, do you know, like, let me, do you know, let me,
Did you hear what I just said?
I heard you very clearly,
You
and I'm
can't
going to
argue with
respond.
that.
Yes, I can. I'm going to respond to it right now. Did you know, okay, since the year 2000, okay, through polling numbers, so at surveys, asking people, polls, all that sort of stuff, right, that the American citizens every single year since the year 2000 have said that they believe and feel that crime is going up. Okay? Every single year. Yet almost every single one of those years, I think there's like a few exceptions in there. Almost every single one of those years, crime is actually going down. Okay? So how people feel in the United States and what the actual reality of what's going on in the United States are two very different things. People feel all sorts of stuff, right? People could feel that Donald Trump was stronger on the border. That's what he wanted them to feel. He wanted them to feel like he was stronger at the border, which is why he blocked the bill previously. Okay. But the truth of the matter is he's not. Like that's
fine,
the case.
But if California is trying to say, oh, the homeless problem is getting better, and my family and I are visiting Santa Monica, and we're riding down the boardwalk, and we see 100 tents all along the boardwalk of homeless people, it's kind of hard to believe. People are going to go with what they feel.
Hold on,
if I see the price of eggs is high and the news says it's lower, I still feel like it's high. If I see the price of gas
But
is
do you
high,
live in
and the news
but do you
says
live
it's
in Santa
lower,
Monica?
I still see it's high. Do I live in Santa Monica?
Uh-huh.
No, I said we were vacationing.
So you were
there.
vacationing there. So you have no idea whether there was 300 homeless people there a month prior.
Well, I know what it was like 15 years ago.
Well, no, but sir, what I'm saying is
it wasn't anything
I'm not,
like that.
I'm not asking you. You said, what if California tells you that the homeless problem is getting better? Okay. You went on vacation to one singular spot, took one snapshot of that situation, said, I see 100 people here. Okay. And so therefore it is bad. When there's a possibility that a month prior there was 300 people right in that same spot, or maybe
Donald
6
Trump
months,
tells you that
or maybe there was
homeless
6 months,
population and the
maybe
and
there was
the-
6
the
months
homeless
prior.
population in Washington D.C. is going to be cleaned up, and I see videos of bulldozers picking up all these disgusting tents and trash everywhere that used to be a homeless.
And how does
camp,
that fix the
and
problem?
I'm seeing it with my own eyes.
And how does that fix the problem?
How does that fix the problem?
Yeah,
Cleaning up an
I'm
area
sorry.
that was otherwise
sir,
disgusting?
how does bulldozing people's tents make less people homeless?
Well, these homeless people had the option. Did you not hear what
What do you mean they haven't had the option? They haven't had the option to what?
They had the option to go into homeless shelters and get mental help, and to get the resources they need to become productive citizens.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's how you fix the homeless
Did you not
problem.
realize that those people had that exact same option prior to bulldozing their tents?
Yeah, but now they're forced to do it.
No, they're not, sir.
Okay?
They're not forced to do
There's a lot
anything,
of homeless
sir.
people
Sir,
that just prefer to be homeless.
sir,
They want to
what's-
live in a tent.
Sir, what if they prefer to be in a tent? Then what's stopping them from just going down the street and getting in a new tent?
That's what they're doing. But they're going to sanctuary cities for that, like Chicago.
Sir, do you even understand what a sanctuary city is? So you think that homeless people that don't have a home in DC are having their entire lives ripped away from them, right? And they're just going to either go to shelters, which they had the ability to do anyway, except for the fact that Washington DC shelter problem is freaking completely overwhelmed, right? But they had that ability to do so. But second of all, now these same homeless people that obviously don't have enough money to have roof over their head now have the ability to pick up and move to Chicago?
They have to do something. They're not. It's illegal to build a house on the sidewalk. Okay, and all we have to do is enforce the laws.
Sure.
This wasn't
I'm not
like
asking
this
you about
20, 30
enforcing
years
the,
ago.
sir. I'm not asking you. Yeah, a lot of things weren't like things like this 30, 40 years ago. Okay, sir. There was tons of things that were different 30, 40 years ago. Okay, this is
It's because the laws
barely
were
one of them,
enforced
sir.
back then.
But sir, laws are enforced now. Okay, but
No,
how
the,
does
the
that make,
liberals
sir?
have made it easy for this to occur.
Listen. Where are these homeless people going? Because they can't afford to go to Chicago, and the homeless shelter system in DC is tapped. And even if it wasn't, they had the ability to go there
They
prior.
need to go get jobs, or they need to go get mental help.
They need
fix
to go
their
get
homelessness.
so you're saying that the majority of people that are on the streets have mental health problems, because actually I think it's less than 20% of them do.
That's a huge number.
Okay, but what about the other
That's a huge
80%?
number. The other 80% has drug or alcohol addiction.
No, that's actually
Most
less
of
than
them, I'd say
that.
at least
Less than 10% have drug or alcohol issues.
Well, then you tell me why they're homeless.
Oh, because our economy sucks. Okay,
That's why they're homeless. Our economy sucks, and there's a lot of people that aren't homeless.
There's a lot of people that aren't homeless, but there are a lot of people that are homeless. Do you know the overwhelming majority of people in America are literally one major medical emergency in the United States right now away from being homeless?
Homelessness shouldn't be a comfortable state of mind.
Sir, did you hear what I said?
Say it again.
The majority of people in the United States right now are one major medical emergency away from becoming houseless. Right now, if you were to walk down the street, okay, and you were to grab two random people, one of those people, if they ended up in a medical emergency right now, would end up houseless.
Why is that?
Because medicine in this country is ridiculously expensive, and we have high rates of credit card debt. We have most people are living paycheck to paycheck, and most people can't afford a giant expense.
And people that are poor have the option to get free medical care in this country.
I'm sorry, you think people that are poor? Well, first of all, Donald Trump is literally trying to take away their medical care right now. Let's be very clear.
Well, so
but second of all, sir,
true,
what
then.
people have free Medicare? Or how do poor people? You're talking about just like desperately poor people. You realize I'm not talking about desperately
Yes,
poor
I
people,
am
right?
talking about that. You're talking about desperately poor people.
No, I'm
you
not.
said that they're one emergency away from being homeless.
Yeah, sir. Dude, I'm talking about people that make
That's
probably
an emergency.
Yeah, I'm talking about people that are probably close to making median household income in the United States. I'm not talking about people who make $10,000 a year.
They're not one medical problem away from becoming
Yes, they are.
a tent dweller.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they are. Or being in shelters or something like that. Sir, the way that we get people out of homeless centers and stuff like that, and you're right, we do have homeless issues. I think that we could do a lot to fix our homeless issues in the United States, right? But the way to fix homeless people, and this has been proven over and over, not only in this country, but multiple other countries across the planet, okay, is by giving people stepping stones in order to get out of the situation that they're in, right? You don't make someone
Stepping stones are mental health. And
no, the stepping
and
stones are
alcohol
things
health.
like a roof over your head and the ability to take a shower and have stable food and be able to get a job, right?
Okay,
Those
well,
are the
between you
stepping
and
stones,
me,
sir.
I've known homeless people. I've known them.
Giving mental health and drug alcohol things to people that don't need it, okay, is not a stepping stone.
Have you ever tried to help a homeless person personally, one-on-one? Like, have you given them help and given them a place to stay? I have, and I can tell you what they do.
Congratulations,
more than
sir.
one time
Sir.
with more than one homeless person.
Sir, I don't care if
They
you've
will
done it with
destroy your property.
Sir, I don't care if
They
you've
will
done it with
destroy what you give them.
Sir, I don't care if you've done it personally with 1,000 people. Okay? I truly don't. No offense, but I really, really don't. Okay? Because that is your anecdotal evidence that is
Well, you're the one that said stepping stone.
Right, because we have proven data over decades and decades and decades of things with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of participants within there, okay, where we have seen that giving stepping stones to people help. Maybe you weren't the correct
Well, then
stepping
why is
stone.
there more homeless problem than ever before?
Because our economy is worse than it ever was. Remember when you were
It's
talking
worse
about,
than
sir,
it's ever been
sir,
before?
remember
How
when
old
you were,
are you, sir?
Remember when you were talking about how things are a lot different 30, 40 years from now than they were 30, 40 years ago?
Much better economically.
Yeah. Do you know
Much
40
better.
years? You know, 40 years ago. Okay, we were at the end of an era, right? But we were at the end of an era where a singular income person without a high school diploma could support a family of 4 and own a house, okay, and own a car and live comfortably.
Okay, there was plenty of poor people back then too.
I didn't say there wasn't poor people, but you do realize, right? About 40 years ago, at the end of it, a single earner could support a family of 4, buy a house, have a car without a high school, with only a high school diploma.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not possible anymore. Okay, or at least very, very not probable without without a extensive luck in entrepreneurship, you're right. There is always outliers to every rule, right?
Listen, you can
But
live
hold
on your own
sorry,
working
sir.
at
I know you want to talk,
McDonald's.
but I'm in the middle of a point. Okay. So what
Okay, sorry.
so as our economy has gotten worse and worse and worse, it really started with Reagan, trickle down economics, the destruction of the middle class, and moved everything all the way into Donald Trump's current tax bills that are giving extreme tax cuts to, super rich people at the expense of poor people, right? By things like cutting SNAP benefits, one of those, aid pieces that would help people not be homeless, or Medicaid, another stepping stone of to help people that, that could be homeless, as he takes away those social safety nets, right? You have people in our economy that cannot live the same way. They cannot live at the same standard, and they cannot have the social safety nets, and they do not have the backing in order to survive emergencies. If we were actually to have people in the United States that actually could make a livable wage, everyone, right, be able to do things like bring down the cost of housing, bring down the cost of groceries, or at least have median household income catch up with that, and then move a lot of that wealth from the actual top 1% and actually get it into stimulating our economy the way that it should, then we would fix our homeless problem or our houseless problem right now without ever having to bulldoze a tent city. All bulldozing a tent city does is force homeless people to move from being homeless one place to being homeless the next. It doesn't fix anything.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If you make being poverty-stricken comfortable, is that going to incentivize people to not live in poverty and to not be poor and to not get addicted to alcohol and drugs and things like that when they can, because they're still going to be supported in some way?
Sir, first of all, you do realize this whole like, oh, they're homeless because they're addicted to drugs and alcohol thing is a complete lie, right?
No, I don't. I've seen many episodes.
Sir, just because you've seen some doesn't mean that it's the majority. Okay? Just because you've seen that it exists. I didn't say that no one on the street, okay, has a mental health issue, or that no one on the street, okay, is like addicted to drugs and alcohol. I didn't say any of that, okay? Actually, if you look at from the people that actually are picked up from homeless, that are addicted to drugs and alcohol, it's usually because they have a mental health issue, because they're not able to get the actual medical care that they actually need for their mental health issue. So therefore they resort to things like drug and alcohol as a way to self-medicate. So if we had things like, universal health care in this country where people could actually go and get the mental health that they need, then we wouldn't have this issue to begin with. But you're talking about making homeless, being houselessness more comfortable. Sir, nobody without a house is comfortable. Okay? Most people in the country are with roofs over their heads are not comfortable within this economy. Okay? Most people, again, like I said, are living paycheck to paycheck and barely surviving. All right. So when you talk about being comfortable, no, they're not going to be comfortable. Giving people things like food is not making someone so comfortable that they want to just stay houseless. Or giving people things like Medicaid or
When
Medicare.
you give a family of six, it's $4,000 a month for groceries. Giving it to them, $4,000 a month for groceries for a family of six in this country. This I heard from a person who's on welfare. Okay, that's insane. That's insane. They're eating steaks.
I don't think that's even true.
They're eating luxurious food.
Where is somebody getting
It didn't used to be that way 40 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's that way now.
A lot of people don't know what food stamps actually are. They actually used to be stamps that you had to stand in front of a cashier and give them this embarrassing form of money and count it out. And you were not allowed to get soda pop. You were not allowed to get junk food. You were only allowed to get staple foods. It's emergency money.
Yeah,
It's an emergency
where do you live,
program,
sir?
And it has been taken advantage of.
Where do you live, sir?
In Arizona.
Okay, I live in Florida, so it automatically pulls up Florida stats. For a family of six, the maximum SNAP benefit is approximately $1,390 for Florida.
That's a lot of money.
You just said it was $4,000.
This is what I was told by a person.
Okay, well, it's not
that was a family of
$4,000.
six.
That is literally.
It might have been that she had six children.
Sir, I don't think if I moved it to a family of 8, you're even in the ballpark, to be completely honest with you. But I'll do it just for fun.
Go ahead.
It doesn't even give a number, but I guarantee you 2 more kids isn't doubling it plus plus another 30%. Okay. But regardless,
and then you add medical benefits to that,
it's
which the average person is paying about $2,000 a month.
$1,751. for a family
month
of
for-
8.
Okay. And
Okay.
then add medical benefits to that.
You don't get medical benefits. Medical benefits are something that you claim when you have a medical expense at the hospital. So you don't get a Medicaid check. Okay? You go to the hospital and you claim the
an access card
Medicaid.
in Arizona, and an access card entitles you to go to the doctor just about anywhere you want, anybody in your family, for as long as you
That's
have it.
not a ben-
No
that's not money.
deductibles,
Sir,
no
that's not
money out of
money
your
going
pocket.
into your pocket. So you're
It's
saying
not
that
going in your pocket.
sir,
I know
a
it's not
fa-
going into your pocket,
Then
but
what are we
it's coming out
talking
of
about,
somebody
sir?
else's
I believe
pocket.
that everybody should have free medical care. So I don't know what if you think you're going to hurt my feelings by saying that somebody has the ability to go to the hospital to be able to see a doctor when they need it. I believe healthcare is a freaking, universal right among human beings. Okay.
I don't think it is.
I 100% think it is, but this is what I'm saying, sir. $1,751 for a family of 8. Okay. Truthfully, and I say this unequivocally, and this is from somebody who lives in Florida and lives in a cheaper part of Florida, right? A literal cheaper part of Florida. Okay. That you might be able to survive off of that in today's economy. Honestly,
that's all it's intended for.
But that's all they're getting. And that's saying you might, and I mean might, big maybe, be able to survive off of fucking $1,751 in a fucking that is a low number.
Okay, I would consider it a godsend. I think anybody would consider it a godsend that's actually working. That would be nice to have. It'd be nice to have free medical care. The average
we
family
should have
has
medical care.
$15,000 a year out-of-pocket costs on medical care. There's too much incentive for people to not work in this country.
Sir, that's not an
There's
incentive.
too much incentive to be poor and to have lots of kids.
Sir, what are you talking about? $1,751 is nothing. That is
nothing is nothing.
That is
nothing is nothing. Okay, and I've had to live on nothing, and that's a lot different than nothing.
Sir, $1,751, which again, this is just in food benefits. This has nothing to do with your ability to live or stay anything. Okay. Doesn't even,
of course it does.
Sir,
it's food.
Sir, that doesn't even cover the rent on a low income fucking house for 8 fucking people. If you were fucking putting 5 people in every room or 4 people in every
then
room,
you have no business having a family of 8. If
sir,
you have
you're
no
the
way
one
to
who
even
brought
take
a
care of
family of
yourself.
8. I don't know anyone with a family of 8. You're the one who brought
No, I
that
said
up.
a family of 6.
Okay,
And I'm talking about food stamps, and we're talking about homeless people. And what I'm saying is that, listen, if I'm a single person, I could work at McDonald's and support myself in a house. Okay, I can go rent a room from somebody for $400 or $500 a month. That's what people do when they're starting out in life. It's not the taxpayer's job to make sure you have a house and a bunch of food and all your medical care covered. That's not what everybody's job is to do. Everybody's supposed to take care of themselves and pitch into the common good.
Sure. That is very, very sweet. Okay. That is very,
Is it
very
not
sweet.
true?
It is very true if the year was 1960. Okay.
Are you saying that's not possible today?
Absolutely not. It is absolutely.
I can't go get a job at McDonald's and rent a room in somebody's house until I get a better job?
Probably not. No. Depending on where you live, especially not.
The McDonald's in my town is paying $16 an hour. Do the math.
I promise you right now, if you went and got a McDonald's job in my house, in my town right now, there is no way you can rent a room and eat monthly and rent a room out of someone's house.
$16 an hour times 40.
It's not $16 an hour where I live.
What is it?
$7.25.
No, there's no one that's paying that.
Yes, it is.
Well, then move somewhere where they're paying 16 because it's all over here.
Because
McDonald's
hold on,
California, it's
gotcha.
more than 20.
Gotcha. So I have zero money. I am making $7.25 an hour, and now I need to be able to move. Also, with what money am I going to be able to move?
I don't know anybody that's paying
Sir,
$7.25
with what money
an
sir?
hour.
At what money? At what, sir? Make it $15 an hour. How am I getting the money to move?
$15 an hour. What is that? Like $600 a week?
You're assuming that you can get paid full time.
Yeah. Go get a full-time job.
No, the overwhelming majority of fast food workers do not work full time. And I mean
work?
the overwhelming. Unless you're pretty much a
Then get
manager,
2 part-time jobs.
most people in the United States do, and they're still living below the
That's
poverty
okay.
line.
That's okay. You can live below the poverty line. They're living below the poverty line. That's why I'm saying homelessness is a disease.
No, sir,
Okay?
you're a
It's
disease.
not mentally. It's not mentally
sir,
right
you're
to
a
think that it's
disease.
okay to live in a tent.
No, you're a disease.
Okay, if you want, now you resort to name calling. Is that the
Oh, that's not
democratic
name
way?
calling, sir. That's just me being honest with you, okay? The reason why people in bad situations can't get out of the bad situations that they live in is because of mindsets like yours. Okay, you want to fix the homeless
To go
issue,
work
sir.
at a low-income job until you can get a better job?
Sir, you are the reason for that. Okay, you want to
Explain
fix
why.
it, sir. I'm trying to. You want to fix the homelessness situation that we have in the United States? We have to get rid of mindsets of people like you and start understanding that helping people, giving people a leg up is the way that you get them out of this. Not to say, oh, you can just go fucking get 7 minimum wage jobs and then you can rent a guest house in somebody's backyard in the fucking projects. And then through that, somehow you are magically going to inherit a better job in an economy that freaking doesn't support that whatsoever, in a freaking economy that freaking most people are, even like regardless, are working multiple part-time jobs and barely surviving and still having to be on government benefits because those big companies don't pay enough money for them to pull out of that situation. What you are just describing is a way for somebody to not starve. You are not supporting a way in which people, okay, can get to a better situation. You want people to just magically work at McDonald's and then also work at Barnes & Noble and then also work at Panda Express and then also find a way to rent a house out and then also find a way to freaking somehow survive any type of medical catastrophe that you could possibly have that could put you back whatsoever, and also not use their credit cards and also somehow find a way to get a better job, and I assume somehow freaking find a way to get some type of education and skills in order to do that, and that's just not possible. None of this is possible. The only way, no, it's not,
Yes,
sir.
it is.
It has not been
I know
possible.
people have done it. I've
Sir,
done it.
just because you know someone who has fucking done it does not make it possible for the majority of people. Okay?
Why not?
I know somebody who was living out of their fucking car. Now
Why are
they're
you
a
so
millionaire.
angry, bud? Why are you so angry?
Because you are a disease to this country. Okay,
Oh, to
and
go get
really,
a job is a disease?
it is really very annoying talking to somebody, okay, who lives in such a place of fucking privilege, okay, because you grew up in a time in this fucking country, okay, that allowed people to do what you're saying and hasn't opened their eyes enough to wake
I grew up in
to
poverty, sir.
shush.
I grew up in poverty,
Be quiet.
sir.
Who hasn't opened their eyes enough to realize that we don't live in the fucking 80s anymore. Okay, this is not the same economic situation. This is not the same thing that our parents grew up in. This is not life, okay? You still have this whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps mentality, and it is not realistic in today's economy. Period, point blank. The sooner that you open up your fucking eyes and see that this is 2025 and realize that we need to put steps within our government in order to ensure that people can get out of the negative situations they can in order to improve our economy, then we will continue to fail over and over and over and over and over.
So more handouts? That's what you just said. More handouts.
It's insane.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. That's my question. More handouts?
Sure, if after everything I said, that's the only thing that you can logically come up with is that question, then I don't know what to say. Truly. There's literally
That's what
no
you
point.
just said. We
There's
need to give
literally
them
no
more
point
money
in
to give
having
them
this.
more to lift
There
them
is
up.
literally nothing that I can say to you that is going to make any sense if that is the thing that you can, the only thing that you can logically respond with after everything that I said.
You just said the only way they're going to get better is if we give them more resources to do that with. unless I misunderstood what you just said.
Sure, sir. Nobody said the word handouts, all right? But if you want to say that freaking yes, we should give people, that we should support our actual people, maybe actually have the US government to do the job that it was supposed to do, okay? Which is actually take care of the people in the United States, okay? To actually take care of them, all right?
That's
When
not
we have,
the government's job. Who said
that is
that
a
was the
hundred, that is
government's
a
job?
hundred,
To
that
take
is
care
the
of
only,
people.
that is the only job of a government. Okay. The only job of a government is to make sure that the United States citizens are safe and taken care of and can live. That is truly the only job. The reason we have a military is to keep people safe. Okay. The reason that we have taxes, the taxes should go to the American people. They should go to our roads. They should go to our bridges. They should go to our infrastructure, right? They should go to trade, right? So that we can trade with other countries. All of that is for the safety and security of the people of the United States, okay? By the people, for the people, okay? That is what it is for. And our tax dollars should 100%, okay, go to the support of the people that need it the most, okay? There's a like I said, there's an old saying, okay? Republicans will starve 99 people to make sure that one person that doesn't deserve it gets fed, and Democrats will feed 100 people to make sure one person doesn't go starving. Okay,
Right,
and
there's
that is
another
100%.
old-fashioned
That
saying.
is 100% true in this case, sir. You
There's
would
another
rather people.
old-fashioned saying.
You would rather people, okay, that freaking need help the most, okay, be left out to fucking dry. Okay, to be left homeless, to be left starving without food, to be left without shelter, to be left within the elements. You would rather leave all of those people in those situations to make sure that one person doesn't get a single dollar that maybe doesn't deserve it. But that's your lack of humanity, sir. That's your lack of humanity, and which is why I said you're a disease.
Okay, well, listen, I've allowed you to talk for quite a while. May I
You don't
speak?
allow me to talk on my live. I allow you to spread your bullshit on my live.
Would you like me to speak?
Not really. To be completely
So
honest
you're
with you,
just- so
I've
this is-
heard-
I'm just a sounding board for you?
You shouldn't be a sounding board for anyone, sir. You are
Okay, well,
lucky
if
that I have even allowed
you're-
you are lucky that I have even allowed you on my platform. Okay?
Am I?
Mhm.
Am I lucky?
Yes.
Okay, you're lucky that I'm here for you to be a sounding board for your agenda. How about that?
Sir, there's a
your
thou-
thing
there-
says,
sir, you're
are
not-
you a
you're-
Trump supporter?
Sir, you're
But
not
you don't
spe-
really want to
sir,
know that.
Sir, you're not special. You're not special. You're just another clueless boomer. Okay? That's all you are. All right?
Supporting a welfare state and socialism.
Sir, Donald Trump is literally supporting socialism. And you support him.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
By trying to clean up the homeless problem and
Sir,
making
what's
people get
socialism?
out there and get to work?
Sir, what's socialism?
What is socialism? Socialism is handouts from the government and
Wrong.
entitlements.
Wrong.
Well, you tell me what socialism is then.
Yeah, it's the means of production being owned by the people. It's literally government controlling private organization, and Donald Trump literally now has a controlling stake in Intel. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
I don't
the
want
U.S.
the government controlling my life.
The U.S. government literally has a controlling stake in Intel. Literally, that is socialism. Literally, that is the textbook definition of socialism.
Okay, well, what are
And
social programs?
And Donald Trump is literally and currently promoting socialism. Okay,
That's why he's deleting social
but
programs?
you don't even know what socialism is.
I don't think you do.
I literally just defined it for you, so I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay, listen,
I
free
literally-
healthcare, that's
I
socialism.
literally
free food, that's
I
socialism.
literally defined it for
Take
you,
from the rich and give
then
to the
gave
poor,
you an
that's
example.
socialism.
I literally defined it for you and gave you an example.
That's not socialism.
Well, then you just don't know what
I
socialism
just defined
is.
it for you.
No, you don't. You want me to pull up the dictionary and see who's right?
No, well,
I
don't
didn't
wanna
think
talk-
I
I'm not
didn't
gonna-
I
I'm not
didn't
gonna
think you'd want
micromanage
that.
this.
I didn't think you'd want that.
No, I don't want to hear your version of what the
I didn't say my
dictionary says.
version. I said we'll just pull up the dictionary. I'll put it on the screen for everybody
I know
else.
what socialism is. I know what social programs
All
are.
right, so what's the
They're
definition of
entitlements from the
socialism?
government.
Nope, nice try.
My definition of socialism.
I didn't ask what
is
your
when the
definition
government-
of I didn't ask what your definition of socialism is. I don't care what your definition of socialism
What did you
is.
ask?
I care about what the definition of socialism is. Okay, it doesn't have a different definition for you and me. It's
I
the
want the
same
government out of my business and out of my life.
one.
That's what I want.
But you
I
want
don't
them.
want the government
but you
to
want them.
regulate
But
who
you want.
gets the money.
But you want
who
them in
gets
private
everything.
business.
Take from the
But
most
you want them in-
successful
but
people
you
in the
want them in
country and
private
give it to the
business.
ones that are producing
I'm
the
asking
lead.
you a question, sir. So you want them in private business?
No, I don't want them. I want them to
But
be
literally,
as
that's
little
what it
people's
is,
business
and
as
I will put it
possible.
on the screen for everyone to see, so we don't have any confusion. Socialism is an economic and political system where the community or the state owns and controls the means of productions like factories and resources, rather than private individuals.
That's what I do not want.
That's what
correct.
Donald Trump is doing by having a controlling stake in Intel. He is having
I
the
don't-
means
I
of
don't-
production.
I don't agree with.
He is
I don't
having
agree with the Intel piece.
State owns and controls the means of productions like factory and resources rather than the private individuals. Okay.
Well, listen, Obama did the same thing. Obama did the same thing.
I didn't ask that. You're the one who supports Donald Trump and is against. You said and say you're against socialism.
Obama
I never
did,
said.
You know what Obama did?
Sir, I don't
He
care.
Obama bought stock in General Motors.
The U.S. government
Chrysler?
bought stock in General Motors.
Absolutely, 100% during the bailouts. 100%. Look it up. They,
Oh, yeah.
they literally
Sir,
gave
the
money.
problem.
to them.
Sir, here's the problem, sir. I don't mind a little socialism. That doesn't really hurt my feelings.
I know you don't. That's okay. You're a socialist. That's okay.
I'm
You
not
don't
a
have to be
full
embarrassed and
socialist, but I'm a
whisper it.
little bit. Oh, I'm not embarrassed at all. I'm saying it in front of thousands of people, literally.
Yeah, I'm a capitalist.
Literally
You're a socialist.
thousands of.
It's okay.
No, but
We're
you,
having
but
a
you,
debate.
but
That's why I
Donald
called
Trump
in.
isn't.
I called in
But
because you
Donald
said, why
Trump.
do you support
But
Trump?
Donald Trump isn't. You
Isn't a capitalist?
No.
He's the definition of a capitalist.
He literally is the definition of a socialist.
Well, we have a different. All right. Well, so on a different topic.
No, I don't want to
Okay,
have a
so
different
we
topic
talked-
with you. I hope you
Okay,
have whatever
well
day
then.
you deserve. Okay.
Adios.
All right. I don't want to have a different topic with you. That sounds horrific. Anyways, it's crazy to say you don't like socialism and not know what socialism is. Let's hit a couple super chats real quick and we'll keep this thing going. Alex says, I hope Trump doesn't activate any more National Guard. Heard he has only activated them for 27 to 29 days. So benefits don't kick in. Benefits full in 30 days. Yeah. Why would Donald Trump want to have National Guardsmen picking up trash in DC? Okay. And then actually have to pay them. Right? Guys, that would be socialism, right? If our government paid the National Guard to pick up trash and sweep up streets. We can't have that. Why would we want to pay our troops? That would be horrific. Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate that. Lope Nope said, who pays for the tariff? Well, that'd be the American consumer, obviously. Well, American importers and then American consumers do that. But who knows anything about that? Richard, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I said $2 on EBT is too much money. Is this my $2 EBT payment? Is that what that is? Guys, I just made $2 on EBT right here, I think. I think that's how that works. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I just got EBT. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Turn on those notifications. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Stacy said, the privilege on this guy is making me rage. Yes, he is the definition of somebody who bought his house in 1965 for $17 in pocket rent. And he's like, everybody needs to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Spencer said, hey, Paul, I showed this current dipshit the link I sent. Sorry, I didn't see that. I apologize. I didn't see it until now. I'm sorry, man. I'm really bad about checking my Discord. Are you in the Discord? Oh, you're sending in a ticket. Dude, you need to get it in the Discord. There's a whole channel for this. I'll accept you in a second. Send the stuff in so I can check it. L. Polly for not knowing people he likes, for not following people he likes back. I don't really follow much of fucking anybody, to be completely honest with you. Just being fucking honest. I don't really like people. People suck. But thank you, man. L's in chat for Megan. I appreciate you. And Stacy said the lack of empathy is fucking gross. 100%. Completely speaking from places of privilege, man. That is just that could not have been more obvious. Just kind of gross, really. It's really kind of gross. Truly it is. All right. Anyways, I think I've done just about 2 hours. Honestly, I'm tired today, y'all. I think I'm gonna get off right now and finish off the evening. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central. Okay. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. All right. Love you guys. Okay.